Good afternoon, everyone here at Speed Gaming. We have another match in Week 7 of the ALTTPR Randomizer. It was kind of, on top of itself. But you know what I'm getting at. This is the league. It's Season 3. It's Randomizer. It's fun. My name's Dante. I'm here with Edium. How you doing, Edium?
Hey, I'm doing great. Looking forward to this big playoff match. So Last Locationer is already in the playoffs. I'm not sure if they've clinched first seed yet or if they still need some points to do that. But I like Big Boots as right on the edge. They're fighting with two other teams for the last two playoff spots. So they are really looking to get some wins on the board in these last two games against the Last Locationers.
Yeah, looking into this, if they go 2-0, they being I like Big Boots, then there's a higher chance for them to make playoffs. It still doesn't guarantee it for them, which is kind of, I guess a detriment to them in a way, just because of, it's kind of bad if you win out and then, you still miss, but sometimes that is the case. However, if they do lose one, their chance is lower, and mathematically, if they were to lose both of these games this weekend, they will be mathematically eliminated. But as you did allude to, Last Locationers have already clinched playoffs. As we're talking about this, obviously there's nothing on the screen just yet, but we're working on that for you guys. So we may just jump right into this match here in just a moment. But let's talk about Randomizer real quick. This is the normal preset. So we've got full overworld enemy shuffle as well as full ball shuffle. That kind of means, we're going to have 3 potential repeats of bosses, but no more than that. It's not chaos. We're not going to have Vitreous in every single dungeon, thankfully. I don't think these guys want to see it. Anything else to throw in there, Edium? Maybe about how Randomizer is a little different?
Well, so it's interesting. This is the first season that we've done co-op with Randomizer. So one aspect of it is you're not just going to be telling your partner where items are. You're also going to be, maybe warning your partner about some difficult enemy placements. You're also obviously going to be letting them know which bosses are where. So that kind of adds a whole extra dimension to the co-op. Format, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, it's not about so much, what are the minimum items I can get by on, like normally in co-op. It's kind of like, what do I feel like I can actually get by on in any scenario, just because we don't know what bosses are going to be in places. Hey, look at that. Relkin's got a flute already, and now he doesn't anymore. But we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. We're going to get this up and running here real soon.
Yeah, we're just seem to be having some slight technical issues, but we should get the race up on stream. It is about 3 minutes in right now.
Yeah, and kind of with co-op, we were talking about this. You want to obviously share info, and we may or may not have some usable audio. When you're sharing info with each other, obviously you are in a Discord voice chat. You are sharing info as you see it to your teammate. They are not allowed to watch each other stream, even though they are on a delay. This is just going to be, these guys communicating back and forth and letting them know where everything is going to be.
Yeah. So, not sure what's happening with the screens, but hopefully we get this fixed as soon as possible.
I'm actually about to try and pull up a multi so I can just kind of at least talk about it. And then everybody we could just do like a radio cast if we have to. But yeah, this is underway. There's some divergence. These guys are also in CAC. Relkin does have, as we're seeing, the trackers light up here. T Sigma and Yoinker's wife are going to be tracking for us today, so they are kind of looking at the multi as well, just to see what's going on. But already finding cane, glove, flippers, and cape early on. So they do have one safety, a couple of pieces of progression. Looks like Illus has found a hook shot and powder. So that's something that'll definitely be useful.
Yeah, very nice to have a stun weapon early on in the game. Especially with the randomized enemies, you never know like what enemies you're going to find, where and what prize packs are going to be in. So you get lots of chances to find resources when you get that early stun item.
Yeah, and just being able to have that little bit of extra control is always super nice. And unlike our week 1 co-op week, this is not all dungeons. This is just 7-7. It is going to be 7-7 defeat Ganon, so we are going to have to clear GT, but we don't have to get all the pendants or beat Aga unless, the seed kind of forces us to.
Yeah, and so those dungeons like Aga Tower, those are, and GT, and well, most dungeons, but those two in particular can range from being very easy to extremely difficult depending on the enemy layout inside. Sometimes you just get a bunch of easy enemies and you just fly right through. Other times you get like rollers and pokies and chain chomps and all kinds of stuff. So it's just roll the dice, really.
Yeah, someone described it in an earlier restream today in a way that I really liked it. A lot of the hard rooms in this game become easy in Enemizers or in the preset for Enemizer, and then the game itself also, easy rooms become harder sometimes. And we're starting to get some stuff in on the stream here that we can actually start commentating on directly for you guys to watch. Thanks for bearing with us. We're going to get this going here soon.
Yeah, we are seeing that King of Samaria is at Link's house. So that's the first item location we know about.
And it looks like the flippers, from looking at a multi here, are over on the race game. King of Samaria, a nice weapon to have. It's not the most efficient weapon, but something that they definitely can use if it comes down to it. All right. We've got some sound, guys. So, looks like zer0rush over in Eastern Palace. Not sure what we've seen over there just yet.
Yeah, it's also a little risky if he doesn't have the lamp. Although maybe he does and we just didn't see it.
Yeah, you may actually see a lot of runners if they don't have the lamp. And they do seem to... I mean, zer0rush is sitting here, it's 6 or 7 hearts. So he may give it a shot. Sometimes we'll see people just check as many items as they can, and if they can... As we see a sword there over at the flooded spot at the dam, you may see runners just actually bail on out of Eastern early without having to do those dark rooms if it's just the big key.
Yeah, we see Goomba now heading towards Agina's cave. Goomba and Illus both using the same, I think that's called Cerno.
Yeah. So many sprites in ALTTPR now.
Yeah, I know Illus always uses that sprite. I've never seen Goomba use it before. Maybe they're just kind of doing it as a joke or something.
All right, so just $20 over in Agina's cave. And I mean, that's one of those checks and especially in co-op, you don't really want to leave it as an outlier, potentially. If it's something huge, a lot of runners will leave it in 1v1. 2v2, it's definitely something you want to get off your list early on.
And zer0rush having to deal with anti-fairies here. Down to 1 heart. And it takes a death.
Yeah, and zer0 going to opt to head on out with the save and quit. I can't say I blame him. Sometimes there's just like some deadly enemies in there that you just can't see in the dark rooms. An Enemizer just makes it super complicated. As we see a blue mail over there on, I think it was Illus's screen.
Yeah, that's a nice safety. We also got the Moon Pearl in there, so just looking for a hammer or another glove for Dark World access, or maybe the lamp to get us through Agate Tower.
Yeah, unsure if any of these guys have gone into Hyrule Castle, but we are seeing Back of Escape. Just a piece of heart, 20 bucks, and a map. So more things to find here. Small key in hand, opting to not do Dark Cross. I can't say blame zer0rush there. That makes total sense, you know, all things considered with Randomizer.
Yeah, 50 bucks on the hobo. That's going to put Relkin very close to Zora money. So I guess he's just trying to hope he can farm another 7 rupees along the way to Zora.
You know, honestly, I think when I had the multi up before we got the stream up and running, I want to say that the stun prize was actually a 20. So if that's the case, and I think it was Relkin who was doing that, so we may see him give that another shot. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty confident that was what we saw.
It looks like we got Goomba also going to take a crack at Eastern.
Yeah, 2 heart containers inside a waterfall fairy. That's a welcome find early on. The more health you can find early is, you know, the better things can be for you. And yeah, there is that stun big 20 or 20 bucks there for Relkin. So now he is at Zora money. We'll get a check of that.
Yeah, Relkin is going to want to kill as many enemies as he can here just to decrease lag. Zora's Domain is one of the laggiest places in the game in Randomizer. And we do see Titan's Mitts there on the ledge, so that's our Dark World access.
And Illus will be getting that information very, very soon here for the last locationers. Ooh, we got boots over on Zora. So farming up that money, definitely the right call. Unfortunately, zer0rush is sitting at 57. He's going to have to do something about that. Goomba not in much of a better situation, only at 117. So I hope if they got some 300 drops somewhere, that they told their teammates where they are.
Yeah, Illus now about to also find those boots. And Relkin, okay, they haven't done back. Oh no, King's Tomb, that's right.
Yeah, mitts in hand, this is something you probably want to do very early on. There's the boots for Illus. And Illus going to be running down to get their Titan's mitts as well.
All right, let's see. Oh, Goomba is not even going to go for the key chest. He's just going to go straight back to Armos.
I'm not sure if Goomba actually went back there and did that chest.
Maybe that was the big key.
I was too busy seeing all the boots showing up.
Ooh,
there's a Master Sword over at Bonk Rocks. That's huge. Anything to increase your arsenal of offensive power is going to be something you definitely want to see.
Oh, we have a hammer on the library. Okay, well, we missed that earlier, but there's 2 forms of Dark World access now. That's really a nice seed.
Yeah, the only thing you could really ask for now is like a mirror to route all of this really neatly. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see Illus and Relkin, respectively, going into Dark World here very shortly. Goomba and zer0rush, their teammates, probably will be right behind them. Just have to farm up that cash. zer0rush doing a good job of that at the moment. I'm pretty sure there's like a 300 down here somewhere, so Goomba's going to be pretty close as well.
And Relkin giving us some magic bat check. And not much there, just 50 bucks.
Honestly, that's probably a welcome find. Him sitting at 60 bucks right now after the 50. You know, we've got potentially that dig game coming up. That's 80 bucks. And if you can get away from having to go into, you know, the arrow game to farm, it's always nice to save a little bit of time getting some checks out of the way.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so there's that 300 on the NPC inside of Mini Moldorm. That's going to put Goomba just over the 500. So all of our runners are going to be going fast here pretty shortly.
Okay, I see we got Pendants, Pod, and Swamp. Green Pendant, Ice. That was a red crystal, I think, on Turtle Rock. Didn't see the other red crystal.
Yeah, I missed that as well. Maybe, looks like some people in chat are saying it was Thieves Town. So Thieves looking to be our other 5/6. You know, with that being a crystal, Thieves is kind of a weird dungeon in Randomizer because you don't have to rescue the maidens. So there's the opportunity, potentially, to skip the back entirely. We'll see if any of these guys opt to do that today.
Yeah, I like to say... in Randomizer, the back of Thieves Town is kind of like left side swamp. It's just this really long area that you don't want to have to do, but there could be something there.
And the back of Skull Woods here is not being kind to Illus. This is pretty much just having a bad day all around, unfortunately. Does have Cape, is going to be pulling that out to get through. Those spikes just not playing nice.
And just a shield there.
Yeah, I believe that's only one of the 2 items for Skull Woods. We've seen 1 item over on Relkin's side as well, I believe, for Thieves.
Man, there are a lot of terrible enemies in here. Lionel's all over the place. Wiz robes.
Oh man, I love it.
Thieves as well. You always love when there's lots of thieves in Thieves Town.
Living up to its name. All right, let's see if Relkin makes the play here. Grabs the small key and looks to be going to the back. Not going to check the boss just yet. Going to go ahead. I think he only got 2 items, so that kind of makes sense. There's 2 in the back, potentially.
Yeah, meanwhile, we see zer0rush going to do some of the overworld checks here. Hammer pegs, just a piece of heart. That early powder definitely going to come in handy. Lots of anti-fairies around.
Yeah, at least one person on each team right now has a bottle. They all 4 have the powder. Relkin seems to be the only one. Oh, I'm sorry, and zer0rush. Their team both has Master Sword. Illus, unfortunately, not having enough money to do chest game.
Ooh, we got a flute on Stumpy.
Flute is definitely something that's going to aid in traversal, but unfortunately only in the light world.
Yeah, this is a very wide open seed right now. We got just about everything available to us. Mire area, we got basically all of Death Mountain. Very, very wide open seed. There's an ice rod in Hype Cave. That's really nice.
That's definitely something you want to see. That's one of the big unknowns with Randomizer. Is a Trinex going to show up? And if so, where? So obviously we still need a fire rod, but ice rod in hand, always a welcome thing to find. Half magic in the big chest of Thieves Town. Now that is another safety that I'm sure Relkin is going to be super pleased to see.
Yeah, I doubt zer0rush is ever going to go back for that, but at least Relkin will have it. Looks like nothing on the pyramid ledge. I guess we're going to go up to Catfish now.
All right, so our first boss is Helmasaur inside of Thieves Town, and he is beatable. We do have hammer, we do have bombs, we do have a sword. We can take this guy out like 4 or 5 different ways. 3 of our runners actually on Helmasaur all together. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, looks like Goomba and Illus decided to just both go for that boss. So they'll both be missing the half magic.
And that final item on Helmasaur, as we see Helma go down for Relkin, just $100 in cash. And Illus taking down Helma as well. Goomba over in phase 2, gonna have to be a little careful. Is at a half heart, does have that cape though. And gets it done. I was kind of sitting on the edge of my seat there with that magic running low, but very nicely done. And that's Helma down for three different runners over in Thieves.
Yeah, meanwhile on zer0rush's side, we saw he went up to Pyramid Ledge and Catfish. Those were both nothing. But we are going to see the shovel spot, also nothing, and blacksmith in a sec. So at this point, we are only a couple items from go mode. We're going to need medallions for Mire and Turtle Rock. And we're probably going to need the fire rod. Since it's likely we're going to find a Trinax or at a cold stare at some point.
Hey, well, talking about fire rod.
Wow.
There it is. Over on the Smith. So there's our fire source. You know, we're in a situation where these guys can skip out on a bow. Since pod is a pendant. Now, logically, a bow is going to exist because those bow-locked rooms, as we like to call them in regular open modes, those are still logically locked, so to speak, by said bow. However, you know, the only real hard lock of that is the statue and pod, and since that's a pendant, unless it's locking something important, we could actually bypass it potentially.
Yeah, we don't need, not going to need that. Well, we might need the mirror for desert, but if we found the book, that would also work too. And then, so basically we just need desert access and then whatever medallions Mire and Turtle Rock takes, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the medallion hunt feels sometimes just as bad as the ice rod hunt. The other thing, and we may not even need a mirror. We were talking about how nice that would be to have. There's a ice rod for Illus. But yeah, we may not even need it. So we'll have to wait and see what everybody decides, or what pops up rather.
Yeah, as chat's pointing out, we do now have the ability to kill every boss, so don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, that's always like a super sigh of relief when you're playing Randomizer. Just having everything to kill the bosses is a huge load off your mind. You don't have to worry so much about going to a boss room and having to leave. Nothing worse than going to, like, say, back of pod and finding a Trinax.
And zer0rush takes down his Helmosaur in Thieves Town, so all our runners now have 1 crystal.
I was kind of wondering why Goomba was saving and quitting there, but having the shovel, probably going to want to check this for their team.
And Illus going to make the journey up the mountain. Lots of new checks up here we haven't seen yet.
And zer0rush grabbing that purple chest. Going to be turning that in. Relkin going to get us some information of North Dark World. I didn't quite catch what that item was inside a Spectacle Rock. Considering Illus is not getting it, I'm assuming was probably trash.
Yeah, he is going to book it straight to East Death Mountain. So we got a whole pile of checks here we can do, and we also have access to do Tower of Hera. Illus, without a fire source, though, may not be able to check the basement.
Yeah, honestly, I really like this play from Zero and Illus. You know, just kind of scouting out that info. We see we need Bombos for Misery Mire. So that is basically, you know, another way of accessing Ice Palace if we absolutely had to. We do have, you know, as we see Red Mail pop up too, we do have Fire Rod, so it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, and we got another bottle there, as well as another bottle in Paradox Cave, so plenty of bottles to go around. Alright, not much else in there though. Did get another 300, so that might come in handy for potions, but we're getting pretty good on health and stuff, so may not need those.
And Zero now making the same play that Illus is, going to be heading up the mountain. A whole lot of checks up here. Relkin heading the back of Skullwood's going to be able to scout the boss information. Vitreous is probably the toughest enemy that can actually show up here inside of the Skullwood's boss arena. So, luckily he does have that half magic if that is the case. We'll see what shows up, though.
Alright, Illus also taking that dip into Tower of Hera now. And it is fire locked, so Ill's going to be able to do the Herapot here, but he will potentially be leaving an item in the big chest behind.
And Goomba is going to beat Relkin to the back. Relkin opted to take a look at that chest. So, let's see who our boss is in the back of Skullwoods as we dodge a Wallmaster.
It's cold staring. Goomba is not got enough magic, so he's going to have to save and quit immediately. Relkin, though, is going to give this boss a shot.
Relkin going to have to be really careful here. Down to 3 hearts. Does have 2 of the puffs done, and you can utilize, as he's doing those spikes, to do gold sword damage. And that kind of shows you exactly why that Moth was programmed not to take damage from those. It just kind of makes almost every boss fight easier. Now, speaking of Vitreous from earlier when I brought that up, here we see Vidi chilling at the top of Tower of Hera. Not so deadly with no goo around him, but still kind of a pain. Illus utilizing that cape to get through Phase 1. And just has to deal with Phase 2 here.
Well, it's taking a couple bumps here, but I think he should be okay.
Very nicely done. And Vidi is down for... Ooh, and we find a mirror. That's a huge find. That's gonna actually give us our access into desert. Either that or book. I'm sure these guys are hoping they don't have to go to swamp, you know, all things considered. And Relkin getting one of those nice shields in the front of Skull Woods. Going to be very well protected now, thanks to the power of the fighter shield. And zer0rush did opt to go to the basement and do the big key, or rather get the big key. All right, so we'll see. I'm not sure if I didn't see the exact item count. That is a heart piece, so Illus not going to be punished for skipping out on that.
Looks like Relkin going to take a moment to restock some potions.
Yeah, considering how close, we may be to go mode. We saw Bombos was our TR requirement. Getting safeties when you can is always a good idea, at least in my mind. We're seeing synchronous Vidi fights, one on zer0rush's side, one on Goomba's side, both utilizing that cape. So nothing of value as these guys are finishing off phase 2 of Vidi. We did see Hookshot Cave on Illus's side a little while ago, and nothing of value really was there. So I guess the question is, where do we want to go next?
Yeah, Illus is he going to pod? Might be going to pod. Oh, is there something on the island?
Oh, we saw Bombos. I think someone in chat called it. I want to say Bombos is actually on this island, and it is. So in theory, I think we're in go mode. Potentially.
Yeah. So one thing we're missing is the lamp, which is not technically required, but we do have some dark rooms we have to do in Mire and Turtle Rock, and those could, depending on the enemies that we find there, that lamp might be something you want to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, obviously Goomba and Illus had that information about Bombos. However, I'm not sold that Relkin and zer0rush have that information based off of their route currently.
Yeah, I mean, they may also be looking for, maybe just be wanting to full clear the mountain just in case of any, safeties and whatnot. But, yeah, I would think they would just go get Bombos pretty quickly if they knew about it.
Well, so the good news for all 4 of these guys, Ice Palace is a pendant, and it doesn't look like we're going to have to go there. So Goomba, with Bombos in hand, is headed over to the Mire area, and with Bombos, going to be using it, opening this place up. No way to get inside without it.
Yeah. So this could potentially be a seed where we do not see the inside of any of the pendant dungeons from any runner.
I think those are my favorite kind of seeds. So unless something goes awry, we saw a 31-minute go mode, I think is what it was for Team Last Locationers.
Well, the other thing for Last Locationers is that they're sitting potentially on a Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight with no lamp and at most 1 or 2 bottles. Not exactly the most fun fight.
Yeah, it's not super comfy for sure. Now we see an Argus over here in the back of Eastern, over on Relkin's screen.
Oh, Relkin is going to check
All right.
the island, or zer0rush rather here.
And Relkin taking down Argus.
Argus and Eastern.
All right, so now this is going to be a huge race of execution to the finish.
And we got a Godmire. There's that big key in the spike chest.
Goomba, not really sure what he wants to do. Trying to powder this fairy. Does get that health refill. Headed to the back. And I guess bless RNG or something in chat for Goomba. No idea what the enemies are going to be here in the dark.
Ooh, Illus taking a death to Cold Stare there. And he's just going to come back later.
Yeah, Illus with 2 bottles. Not sure if he has any goo in him. I do see a B in one. The one on the tracker there, or rather on the menu.
Okay, now Illus is going to go into Mire with apparently no magic. Or is he going to... Maybe he'll just do Desert, actually. That makes more sense.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for him to get his red mail. They do know that this is here. So that'll be a nice extra safety to have. Zero going to be heading into Mire as well. Goomba getting to the switch room. The room's, given his health, looking not too eventful, which is good, considering all these guys are going to be doing this in the dark. All right, so Relkin's taking on Vidi at the top of Tower of Hera, going to be getting his mirror from that fight as soon as he finishes him off. We're getting our first look of the boss in Mire. This is going to be Maltula. Now, that goo up there is going to still hurt you, so you kind of have to stay out of that. You don't want to go wasting health in there. That would just be terrible. But Goomba doing a really good job.
Yeah, that Fire Rod makes Moth pretty easy in basically every room, except for the vanilla room.
All right, so that's crystal number 3 for Goomba. 2 crystals for Illus. Scouting the Desert Palace for that big key. Going to be able to give Goomba that information to get the fastest route through here. And it is vanilla today. Ooh. Another sword. Hey, you were worried about Master Sword Silverless, Edium. Look what we got now. It's tempered. This is free for these runners at this point. The dark rooms are going to be probably the most scary thing.
I'm surprised no one's checked that yet, considering how early we got the flute. Alright, Relkin now going to grab his bombos. So I hope I Like Big Boots will take a second to check that desert ledge.
Yeah, it's like a second or two just to run down there and check it. Maybe Relkin heads to the Light World first. I'm not sure if he's going to follow Zero directly into Mire. Looks like he is, though. So going to be some time here for, you know, the last locationers to... it's really hard to say if they're in the lead or if they're behind or who, you know, who's in the lead at this point. It's more of a... once we kind of get the same crystals and stuff done, we can see when they converge who's going to be in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, from this point, it's basically all execution. Really, the biggest difference, I mean, relkin has that half magic, which is going to make a lot of things easier for him. But the last locationers with that tempered sword, if big boots don't check that desert ledge, that could be a major advantage for the last locationers.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you hear commentators a lot talk about the difference between buttered and tempered sword not really being that big of a difference. However, that difference between master sword and tempered sword, a huge one. And speaking of a big difference, it makes a big difference on this boss that we see on Goomba's screen. We've got a Trinex. Much easier to handle with the tempered sword. Just like that. Goomba doing a really good job. All right, so looks like zer0rush is headed into desert. Did not run down and check that ledge, so this could be a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, considering what they're equipped with, I mean, there's a lot of items they could find that would make their life easier. You know, like a sword. But even other than that, I mean, a bow would be nice. A lamp would be nice. I guess that's about it, but still, it's like a 2-second check. You just gotta run down and do it.
All right, so relkin making his way through the dark rooms. Illus making his way through the dark rooms. It looks like the beginning of the stream all over again. Soon there will be some light. There we go. We can see what's happening. We've made it through on Illus's side. Gonna go take on the Mothula. At least Moth's pretty easy.
Oh, now zer0rush gonna check it. Okay.
Oh, 10 minutes ago, zer0rush heard everyone's cry to go check that, to keep this race super close and exciting.
zer0rush is going to be very thankful he checked that once he sees the Trinex back here.
Now, I'm pretty sure all 3 runners that have not finished off Skull Woods are going to be thankful to see that for that cold stare in the back.
Yeah, so with Tempered Sword in hand, I think a runner's probably not going to be doing much more in the way of unnecessary checks. Just going to be looking for their big keys and, you know, maybe hoping they find something nice on the land, but not really worrying about it too much.
Yeah, at this point, you've pretty much got everything you want, except silvers. But if we don't have a bow, we gotta find 2 of them to get silvers, and that seems like that's way too much work. Very good sorry, I can't say it right. Argus fight there from Goomba. zer0rush into phase 2 of Trinex. Gets a very quick phase 2 to finish him off. All right, so Illus in the Trinex fight in the back of desert now as well. And, you know, finding a Trinex in the Crystal Dungeons, kind of a good thing. There could be 2. And the last thing you want to see is one of those on ice inside a GT blocking the big key. Like, that's just, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a pretty horrible placement. So finding that first Trinex just means there's at most 1 more left in the game, but probably no more.
Yeah, if there's 1 more, you really just want to see it inside a TR, because then it's sort of muscle memory. It's a little different because of Randomizer, but it's mostly the same.
So
All right,
yeah,
so
next few minutes we're just pretty much going to see everyone cleaning up all their crystals, and then I imagine all 4 runners are going to be probably in Turtle Rock at around the same time. Maybe like a few minutes ahead or behind, but
yeah, the last thing that can really cause any type of divergence, I think, is going to be that big key inside of GT. But still, with 2 people, there's not too many pitfalls for you to fall into in a way. You know, the only thing, if it's in tile room, you know, it's probably going to be last for all 4 of these guys. I don't think anybody's going to pit stop there on the way.
I just saw Goomba knock a mini Helma into the Mothula pit there. I was kind of hoping the mini Helma would still be there for the bus, but
I'd love to see him getting in the way, but very nice fight there from Relkin and Goomba both. Finishing up in the cutscene at the same time for their respective dungeons, grabbing their crystal. That's number 6 for Relkin, and that's also number 6 for Goomba. So those 2 are going to be into Turtle Rock probably almost at the same time.
yeah, and our bottom 2 runners also kind of in the same situation. Both finishing out Schoolwoods, both have to go do Eastern Palace. So I think we got a pretty tight race here.
And I may be wrong on this. I think Illus or Goomba was the one who dove Eastern early for their team. Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly?
I believe so.
So I'm not sure where that big key was. That could be a little bit of a time sink for Illus compared to zer0rush. Because I know Zero was the one who dove it early initially. Not sure if it was vanilla. It might be vanilla. We'll find out here in just a moment. Zero going in the portal for whatever reason.
Yeah, he's getting his mirror out. Just realized he made a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, late game when you're go mode, it's super easy to just jump in that portal and assume you need to. So
Alright, so
literally about a 10-second difference between Relkin and Goomba entering into Turtle Rock right now.
yeah, we're often getting blocked a bit by a skull there and them floating on the pit. Oh, Relkin missing a torch shot there. I think he's okay though. This roller room, one of the rooms that's usually pretty much free in Randomizer, since normally there's a couple of rollers in there.
Yeah, it always feels good when you can just run right through there and not have to worry about anything. So there's our TR big key. We can potentially skip lava chest today.
There's that bug gnat as well. So combine that with the powder, and you can catch fairies at will, basically. Lots of Henoxes inside of Turtle Rock today.
Yeah, those can be quite obnoxious.
Especially when they throw the bomb at the switch and it flips the switch several times in a row.
All right, so let's see what the difference between zer0rush and Illus is. zer0rush catching the crystal at 48.52. Just a moment here, we'll see where Illus is. Trying to see potentially the gap between relkin and Goomba. I think Goomba is closing that gap very slightly. So yeah, we're looking at about a 23 second difference between Zero and Illus at the moment.
Yeah, and relkin and Goomba just a few seconds apart as well. So very, very tight race. This is going to be all execution. Maybe a little bit of luck with the GT big key, but mostly execution.
When you're playing Randomizer, especially with this co-op setting, you know, you mentioned this is the first time in the league we've done this, and it's interesting because now keep in mind relkin actually going to be skipping big chest. We're about to find out on Goomba's side if this is going to be a big deal. It's not. It's an item, not a small key, so no 10% getting wrecked today by the Randomizer.
Yeah. That Ether medallion maybe could come in handy in GT in a room or two, but not really a big deal.
Yeah, it would be more handy, I think, if anybody on Last Locationers right now had that half magic. The one person who has it out of all four of the runners, relkin, isn't going to be getting that, so, you know, really no benefit in a way. But yeah, back to an initial thought, like, you know, when you're playing Randomizer like this, these super fast seeds, like we've seen here, it's like the best and the worst all at the same time. Because you don't know how quickly your opponents obviously have gotten that route too. You're probably feeling good, but at the same time, those dark rooms we had to go through, not feeling so great about, but all these guys doing a fantastic job with those.
All right, relkin having to go all the way to the last chest on Laser Bridge. Did get the cannon burnout out of it, but I don't think he's going to make much use of that when he has the cape already. And we are coming up to our final crystal boss. And that reminds me, as soon as we finish that boss, we're going to be heading to GT. And there are, I believe, 22 chests in GT that can hold the big key. So if you like, throw in a number in chat, 1 through 22. I'm not sure how we run the game in
our tracker. One of our trackers, T Sigma, is gonna run that command for us, and we'll get it going. And there it is. So get those numbers in chat. We'll see if Sahabot. There we go. All right. All right, so both relkin and Goomba with those crystals heading into GT. So the way we're going to count this, we're going to try and focus on everybody's screen best we can with everything that's going on, but the count is going to focus on relkin's side. He will be the first in unless he jumps down, and he didn't. So, you know, we'll just focus on the count there.
Goomba now activating the GT cutscene. So about, I would say, 10-15 seconds behind relkin here. Yeah, relkin gonna start with the Hope Room. And we do get a small key.
Yeah, he's opting to go to the right. So we'll see what happens here. What is Goomba gonna do? The same thing so far, at least going to the right. We'll see if Goomba decides to drop on down further. All right, so both of these runners heading to the right. 2 chests so far. This is number 3, just a compass. Number 4, the bow. Okay, that's nice. Number 5, piece of heart. Hey, and there's Quake. Don't think we need it.
Now that's kind of the least useful of the 3 medallions. It has some niche uses. But... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm doing too much here. With 6 chests in, there's another sword, so that's a welcome find as well.
Yeah, if this was vanilla enemies, you might consider just skipping that sword because it makes almost no difference. But when you don't know what you're going to face, you might as well grab it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 8, 9, 10, and 11 here, I believe. 8, just some bombs. 9, $50. 10 arrows. I like how that worked out. 11, just a small key. So we're going to keep going deeper and deeper into Ganon's tower. The Mimic giving Relkin a little bit of trouble there.
Oh, this is interesting.
There it is.
Here's the big key. With the Beamos just sitting on top of the chest.
So that is number 12, I do believe. All right, so, you know, we were preaching the whole execution thing going forward here. And that's literally what this climb is going to be about. How quickly can you think on your feet and handle enemies that you don't know that are going to be in the room?
And simultaneous crystals on zer0rush and Illus. So in just a short minute here, all the runners will be in GT. Relkin now getting started on the gauntlet. Some pretty easy enemies to start off here. More easy enemies. The gauntlet, I find more often than not, is pretty easy since they're all kill rooms, meaning you have to kill all the enemies to get through, so it's not going to put stuff that can't be killed with regular weapons. It's not going to put rollers or anything like that.
Yeah, that would that would be kind of funny but bad all at the same time, and we don't need that.
So pretty tame gauntlet. We are gonna now see what boss we have here in the middle. And it's just Armos, so that bow is gonna come in handy. Of course, if you didn't find the bow, that can of burn might help as well. Can of burn is pretty effective against Armos Knights. And Relkin now onto the 5th floor. Normally you want to use Cane of Samaria here because there's Wizrobes and they die in one shot, but you got to be a little creative in Randomizer.
Yeah, it's not going to be so easy. We see 4 red guards of the Dark World variety in Wizrobes 2, as well as a rat. That rat probably giving him the most trouble out of everything.
And we saw a chain chomp there. Relkin making use of the cape to just go right through. Ooh, a spike here on torches.
Now this is where you gotta be glad.
Yeah, I think we were gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, it's definitely you gotta be glad you got a safety here, just because that can be really, you know, cumbersome to get through. So Torches 2 looking fairly tame. That Spike and Beamos looming in the distance, but nothing too terrible there.
Relkin gonna scout out the upper chests. Not sure there's really anything they can find in here that matters, since I think the bow is still logically required for Eastern.
Yeah, they're not going to find silvers here. And we got a vanilla Moldorm. Even vanilla eyes. So, not much entomizing being done there.
Those invulnerability items helping Relkin out here, getting through that spike room. And we are on to Aga 2. And Relkin completely messes the first cycle. And the second cycle, geez.
Aga not playing kind today. Alright, so Goomba, Relkin both in here. This is going to be super close. Like, it's crazy because, you know, there's like half a climb apart between the teammates, but they're all in the same rooms. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, Relkin done with Aga 2. And Goomba is as well. So I think Goomba made up a little time on that fight.
So the bow, was the bow at the top? Or was the bow down in the basement?
No, the bow was, I think it was in Stealth's room.
Okay.
I don't know, it was definitely at the bottom.
It was out of the way. Yeah, it was a little out of the way. Okay, that explains why Illus and Zero didn't pick it up.
Oh, yeah, I think it was in Compass room, that's right. So they would have had to go all the way over the right side for them.
T Sigma, one of our trackers, keeping us in line. I have a whole new respect for trackers as of today. Job's hard. All right, so here we go. 2 butter swords, 2 Ganons, same warp patterns.
Both runners getting a little bit of fire bats here, but nothing they can't deal with.
Oh, the other bow was in pod. Of all places. All right, so here we go. Just need 12 spins on Relkin's side. Any little gap in execution here could swing this race. We will see how this all pans out.
Illus now up to Moldorm 2. zer0rush just 1 room behind here.
Oh, Relkin getting a blue hit. All right, there goes Ganon for Relkin. So he's got the sword in the air. And there it goes for Goomba.
Wow, neck and neck finishes from the first 2 runners. And Relkin is through with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 42 seconds. Goomba through 5 seconds later at 1:02:47.
Unbelievable. That's so close. All right, so it's going to come down. This is average time. It is not the last one that finishes. It is average. So we're going to see here now Ganon, or headed to the Ganon fight on zer0rush and Illus's screen here, almost in sync.
Yeah, so Illus is going to have to finish at least 5 seconds ahead of zer0rush to pull out the win here. zer0rush with a couple seconds lead, so this is going to be insanely close. Every missed spin is going to just be magnified here.
All right, keep in mind here, Zero is on Tempered. Now, him being an experienced runner should be able to get the 1-in-1, but if he were to miss that, that could be it.
Oh, and he does
miss it. Oh, no. All right, so he's in phase 3.
This is insanely close. We could see a tie here.
All right, Illus does get the torch glitch. Ganon calling us a dingus on these guys' screens because we don't have a bow at all. I mean, I'm not counting these, if I'm being honest. It's so tense right now. Illus with a slight lead, I do think, in the count. Zero actually missing one there, so increasing the distance. Looks like Illus did give him one back with a missed Firebat cycle. So down goes Ganon for Illus. Oh, and Zero! How close? How close is this going to be?
Holy crap. What a race. What a race. Illus finishes with a time of 1:05:36. zer0rush finished with a time of 1:05:39, a 3-second difference. So that is going to give us a 1 second difference in the average, I believe.
So yeah, this is going to be really tight here. Sigma, one of our admins, is tracking this race. Going to be able to figure out exactly what our procedures are. However, as of right now, it's super, like, less than a second or 1 second basically as the average time difference, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, wow. And we have official word from our admin. It is a tie. Wow. What an absolutely insane race. Just an absolute jet seed, first of all. And then, our top 2 runners basically finishing a few seconds apart. Our bottom 2 runners just a couple minutes behind. Wow. So what is that going to do to the standings?
That's going to shake things up a bit. Honestly, I think that's going to hurt Big Boots more than it's going to help the last locationers. That would be my gut check reaction based off of Big Boots really needing to win both of these. But we'll see if we're going to get them in here for an interview.
Looks like we have Goomba and Illus in the waiting room. They are popping in. GG's, Goomba, and Illus.
Hey, GG.
And relkin and zer0rush also in the waiting room. They should be here in a few seconds, hopefully. But, what an absolutely crazy finish to that race, as we are now joined by relkin and zer0rush. GG's, guys.
Hi, GG's. Not the outcome we definitely needed there.
Yeah,
GG's.
wow, a tie. Holy crap. Where do I even start with this one? Just an absolute jet seed. What were you guys thinking, like, when you saw that bomb bust and thought you were in possible go mode with no bow, no lamp?
Possible go mode? We were 100% in go mode.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
We needed to hurry, I think, or I thought at least. We weren't really, we haven't had that many jet seeds as preparation, all our seeds were kind of super trolly, and this one was different, so it made me a bit nervous.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how to feel, because on the one hand, like, yes, the seed was super jet, but on the other, I thought it was reasonably possible that they could have missed the fire rod or the boots, because maybe you go up there, get the mitts without enough Zora money. There wasn't that much money lying around, so I figured that was a distinct possibility. And Smith is just Smiths, so.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I like big boots. One thing you almost missed was that tempered sword on Desert Ledge. zer0rush running down to check that just before heading into the back of Desert. So that would have been a completely different race if you guys had missed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I thought I'd check it in case it was bow or sword, just because we hadn't checked it and it only takes a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And then zer0rush, you skipped the gold sword there on the torch. Now, we were saying, like, in a vanilla enemies, you probably would normally skip that because it makes very little difference. But did you consider picking it up because of Randomizer?
No, I would have picked it up had I stopped for half a second and thought about the fact that Armos was at the top of GT, but I didn't, so I skipped it. And then, yeah, just lost like 40 seconds to skipping it.
Okay, so we are getting word from our admins that this race will be retimed. So we can't say for certain that it is going to stay a tie. But if the times don't change, it will be a tie, I believe. So definitely, yeah, as you guys were saying, not quite the result you were hoping for.
What is the exact margin for a tie? It's 2 seconds, right?
No, in the past, yeah, okay. 2 seconds is what Sigma's saying.
Yeah, I know it was. I think it was 3 seconds, and then we switched to 2, like last year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and if the race time times are correct, then it's the 1 second average. I don't think it's gonna be like gonna go outside of the tie range. So
It probably won't, but we'll see, I guess.
it's interesting. I actually think it's a reasonable outcome for us at least. I mean, we have Clefs clinched anyway, but
my brain has not fully processed the exact implications of this.
Same.
Like, I knew the implications of this match if it was depending on who won, but I had never considered a tie, so I'm not sure exactly what this implies for. I think we still clinch first seed of this. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we do. But I'm not sure what it implies for other teams' playoff contention.
Yeah, it's definitely not helpful for LA Big Boots. So that, I believe, is going to make your guys' next race a must-win. Am I correct?
So did the spoilers win their race? Just today? Or are they going on? It's going on right now.
I mean, they started at the same time as ours, and I highly doubt their seed was this fast, so it's probably still going.
All right. So
Yeah, I don't see anything as far as things being done. I think that's on another channel, so we may have to tune in.
Yeah,
check that out.
Yeah, my answer for you then is I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches left to be played like this week for this division, so there's a whole lot at stake. I mean, really depending on how teams matches go.
So if you guys win tomorrow, you'll be at 28 points, and then if Triple Dino and Spoilers lose their second races, they'll both be at 27, right?
Yes. Assuming Spoilers won today.
Yeah.
Or win, whatever.
I won't spoil anything.
All right. Good joke.
Playoff implications aside, just looking exactly at this one match, I gotta say, you guys put on a heck of a show, because this was quite fun to commentate and watch. Chat was loving it, and I thought you guys did a fantastic job of dealing with all the enemies that the game threw at you. And luckily, you didn't need the bow, right?
I feel kind of bad because I realized, like, when I activated the float and went to do Skullwoods, I realized as I was stepping in the Dark Portal, I should really go buy a potion first in case this is a cold stare, and then it's a cold stare.
Yeah,
that's right.
Me dying to cold stare was not exactly ideal either. I thought I was safe enough, but it was unfortunate, but such things happen in Randomizer.
But other than that, I feel like it went really, really well for us. I mean, like jet seeds like this, you can never really tell if you're ahead or not because they're just so fast.
Yeah, I mean, we never saw the inside of any pendant dungeon from any runner, so that tells you just how fast a seed it was.
Yeah, this is and when you're in the driver's seat as far as being a runner, and you guys can tell me how you felt. I know personally, seeds that are this fast, especially for co-op, it's like you feel really good because you feel like you've routed it well, but obviously if you did it, your opponents could probably do it too, and you just don't know if maybe they're 2 or 3 seconds ahead of you because, you know, that could be all it takes.
Yeah, because in my mind I was like, well, it wasn't very hard to hit a good route in the seed, and I did go into Eastern Palace unnecessarily, but on the other hand, if they miss the fire rod, they lose like 15 minutes, so...
Yeah.
I think the one, in terms of like helpful items, the one thing that was different between you two was Relkin getting that half magic from the back of Thieves Town. That definitely helped him out along the way, but obviously no one else went for that.
Yeah, and that's kind of an out-of-the-way check as well. I think that kind of gave last locationers that little bit of extra time, you know, to recover from that Skullwoods Cold Stare death. Obviously, there's, you know, numerous things you could say about something like that. That's just one of the big outliers, considering Relkin was the only one who had that half magic.
Yeah. I mean, in these kinds of seats, you can point at any number of things to try to justify the time difference. Like, there's a million different little places where a second or two could have been saved, so...
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You guys have another match tomorrow at the same time. Oh wait, no, that's I can't look at this right. I'm terrible. That's today. It is. Well, is it the same time tomorrow? No,
it is 1 hour later. It is at 4 p.m.
All right. So that'll be Relkin and Ganon's Going Wild for I Like Big Boots, and it'll be Goomba and Lin for Team Last Locationers. And if this match is any indication, I feel like people definitely don't need to miss the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of Randomizer. I was not really looking forward to this week, but playing it co-op has been more fun than expected, I suppose.
Yeah.
Co-op
pretty fun in general.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Randomizer either, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the co-op aspect definitely. With Randomizer, there's a whole new sort of dimension to co-op. Not just telling your teammate where items are, but also where enemies are, what bosses are where, and so on, can really make a big difference. But yeah, I think we should start to wrap things up here. Do any of the runners, any of you have any final thoughts before we end the stream?
Not really.
Bring back cross keys.
Same.
All
right, guys. Well, thanks for putting on this race for us. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. But you guys in chat, you definitely gonna want to watch this. These two teams go at it again tomorrow, 4:10 Eastern time. Doesn't have a channel yet, but I'm sure it's gonna get one, and that'll be things to keep an eye on. Big thank you to T Sigma and Yoinker's wife for tracking for us today. Clicking all the buttons. Like I said, I have a whole new respect for trackers after doing it for the first time today, and it was terrible. It's hard. So Good on them for keeping the commentators straight. It's super easy to sit up here and just talk about what's actually happening on the screen with someone like Eddie. So a big thanks to you guys for the run again. Thank you again to SpeedGaming for letting us do this on their channel. And I've been Dante. I'll throw it over to Eddie for that final word.
Yeah, I've been Eddie. It was a really fun race, really exciting, really close. Yeah, lots of races still to come over the next couple days. Lots of playoff matchups to be determined. So check that schedule. I think we can get a link to it in the chat. I think it's !league or something. Yeah, there we go. So the schedule is linked there. So keep an eye on that. Lots of important matches still to come. And then, of course, next week, the playoffs start. So that'll be even more exciting. So anyway, that'll do it for us. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and goodbye.